sometimes they spring at you and you're on the wrong there. Very good. And it's the other foot rising. And that's why the fifth technique exists, and it also happens in Dojo Daini, which is a Riminagi. And a Riminagi, I'm still working with the reflex off the back leg. This foot's just hit the ground and this attack is penetrating. And my back foot is going to rise, and that's what I have to work with. And so in this case, I'm just rising up and encompassing with that turning action of the foot. And so it's a very simple, my weight's down, my weight's up, and down. And that body dropping that happens on that weight falling again is very useful. Because you're not trying to blast him up or down, but you want to ride the natural rise and fall of the body. And it should feel, from Corey's side, very effortless. From his side, I suspect it feels like, damn, why did I go down so far? Because his natural body drop gets accentuated with your body drop, sort of falling in behind it. So when his body would naturally just do its recovery action to stay in good posture, it gets loaded up and we'll do it real, real slow. Boom, we're both going past the peak of rise, our hips are, and his foot's going forward and down, and my foot's going forward and down, and I encompass that, and on the end of that down, my body's entering for just extra down. Now, there's not a lot of pressure here. We're not trying to push him, not shoving the head down or pulling the head in and pushing. We're just sort of settling on it. Now, once we're here to take extra control, again, our weight's going to shift off of this and around. We're taking a flywheel action on him again. This time it's happening from this point to this. And that's going to get the spin happening and set you up for a nice extra rise. Cool? So just a fairly light little Riminagi. You put it all together. Up, down. Cool. So, yeah, try if you're on your own. Be gentle on the neck. Try not to twist their head or do anything violent to the neck. It's there, and you could, but you probably ought not. Okay? Special events, maybe, but not for polite play. Cool? Okay.
Okay, so I need to be like next to you.
Yeah.
So did I get ahead of you then?
A little bit, yeah.
All right.
Have this elbow.
Here's an exercise to help you with the ending a little bit. Because the ending, everybody's got the beginning looking lovely, but the ending gets all cattywampus. And it tends to get odd because of the angles of our arms and our elbows. And we get kind of fixated into doing jobs with our arms, like I'm going to hit him with this arm or something. We get this sort of impact activity. I'm going to keep my hands like a wheel, basically defining this shape, just like this. Okay, this elbow and shoulder are rotated, so the shoulder is this and the wheel's like that. Cool. And then when everything reverses, I'm going to keep that same wheel in place. So we're going to come up over the top, make the wheel, and keep the wheel, but don't change anything in the relationship except what the shoulders do. Okay? The activity doesn't come out of elbows at all. Doesn't come out of hands pulling or pushing at all. Doesn't come out of compression from the pecs and lat muscles at all. Comes out of what goes on in the shoulders. So when you do it with him and the center hits him, and the center hits him, but the hands don't really do any extra jobs, or the arms don't do any extra jobs. Cool? So try that relationship on each other a little bit. Cool? Yeah, just try to define that wheel and stay in that wheel shape all the way through the end. Cool? Look at this. Everybody's looking really slick. What happens, and it's actually the one that comes in the quarter and go and and it happens when we have a little extra space on the fella and you wind up with the back of his collar here. So if you find yourself deep automatically, if in other words, it's almost like we're in a tight lane where you're in narrow space and everything closes and everything's tight right from the beginning, we'll have control position almost immediately where the bodies are touching. If you happen to be functioning in wider spaces or you took a wider step for whatever reason, there's no reason to make that closure necessarily. If you happen to be out here at his shoulder, yeah, if you had a ponytail or something, you can grab him by the hair, but basically back of the collar is what the collar looks good. And this works just as well. kind of circular feeling with my hands. I don't really want to change anything. And you do it all out of arm's length, which will feel kind of weird because you don't have that tight closure, but try it anyway. That's the control from the back of the collar is very powerful because you can really throw them with either hand at that point. Once you get a hold of something back here, which is just symbolically the collar, it could be their ear. It can be pretty much anything. If they're bald, it's tougher, but collar's pretty good. Yeah, you can throw with the brace, the leading arm, standard Riminagi, but you can also engage your bicep for a moment, just turn it on like a switch, and they'll go for a right from it too, like a Shirawate that comes out of nowhere. And it's a shock to him because he sees this coming. His nervous system, his reflex sees this, and is ready for it. What is surprising is he doesn't see that. And that one will take the cause and get horizontal in the air sometimes. And it'll take real hard falls like I did to you. And I still feel bad about it. So be careful if you do decide to engage the hand from behind, okay? Because it will sometimes get them out there in space when they weren't planning on it. And that's a back of the head game. You don't want to knock their head in the ground.